Tuning in to Chaos Culture Radio, dropping knowledge in the studio you already know.
Thank you for tuning in to Chaos Culture Radio. This is your boy Prince Hakeem.
Hey, this is your boy Ron Mustang. What's happening, King? What's happening, baby?
Man, we here today. I'm doing good. You know what I mean? I woke up this morning in a good spirits. Praise be to God. You know what I'm saying? And something came over me today. You know what I mean? The Holy Ghost came over me today. And I said we about to take some people to church today. And
but there's no organ. There's no choir. There's nobody here, man. It's on you and I.
Thank you for reminding that. No, ain't gonna be no trash. Straight no chaser. Straight no chaser. Now the thing about it is, for a lot of our non-black viewers, when I say I'm gonna take you to church, we're gonna talk about something that's very real. You know what I mean? A topic that's gonna turn some eyebrows and make some people mad. You're gonna hear some opinions on here that does not reflect our guest. I just want to put that out there, because I can be a little bit extreme and a little bit overboard. So I don't want nobody to think that whatever I speak or whatever Ronnie speak reflects our guests. And we have our two special guests today. Now, mind you, our guests, how about we just say your nicknames? We're not going to say your names.
Well, you can say my name. It's all good.
Oh, okay. All right.
You can say my name. It's all good. Yeah,
it's all good. Yeah.
Hey, I'm posting this on Facebook.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's what I'm telling. But they say the name. Say the name.
Okay.
It's all good.
I got my man Jeffrey, and I got my man Jabari.
Yes.
Hey.
You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? So, whenever we have guests on here, we call it the block party.
Yes.
AKA the party line, because we have people with expertise advice. In today's topic, we're gonna talk about the type of woman you should marry. We excluded women on this panel, because this is only this is for men to speak and for women to listen. You know what I mean? Because it tend to be very one-sided. We always hear what women want, but women don't tend to hear what men want. And you know what I mean? Jeffrey, who was previously married, you know what I mean, and Jabari, who is currently married, have way more expertise to speak on this and speak on the ups and downs and adversities of being married, and probably can shed some light for a lot of you guys who are looking to get married, or who probably took the red pill and say, I'm not going to get married. And, you know what I mean, we can give our opinion about it. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. So let us begin. And this is called the Man Cave. Chaos Culture Radio Man Cave tonight. So it's going to be actually interesting to see.
The boys club. That's what
the boys club. So it's going to be, a lot of women are going to take it offense, but hey, it's the truth.
It's the truth.
We're not here to offend nobody, man. We're here to educate them.
Yes, sir.
Basically. And
all right, so go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all. I'm gonna let y'all set it off. I want you to speak, Jeff. I'm gonna let Jeffrey set it off. Then Jabari, I want y'all to give your opinions on the type of woman you think you know what I mean you should marry, especially being in y'all situations. You know what I mean? You give it, and me and Ronnie will go last, and then we'll give commentary, and then we'll comment on it.
All right. So for me, I think for all men, when you see an attractive woman, you see her and you walk up to her, you say, "Hey, how you doing?" and it move on to a relationship. And in the back of your mind, a man will usually tell you if that woman has potential to be a wife, or she just a potential to just be a pass by. And for me, I always had that mindset as growing up. My parents always told me that when you're a man, you meet a woman, you have to create. And what I mean by create, you got to create a family, you got to create a structure. Because the black homes, as we all know, some of our black homes don't have no structure. The new generations, as us coming in, we see what our parents went through. Some parents have mom and dad. Some people was raised with grandma. Some people were just raised with moms. So unfortunately, I was not raised with a mom and dad. So my grandmother always told me that you always have that structure in your life. A woman is gonna be the person that molds you to who you need to be. And when you get married, and one of the things my grandma always used to tell me, you can't just marry anybody. that person have to be like-minded like you. So she have to see your dreams as you see her dreams. And reality, is it really reality? No. But that person have to somewhat come close. And if it's something like, for an example, she wants to be a doctor. Okay, what you do as a man, you support her dreams. Now, if you want to be a lawyer, she have to support your dreams. But now these days, you don't see that no more. That's why marriages are failing, because now, if we don't talk about this, but we have to say it. Women are making more money than men, and once men start not making more, they're no longer the head of the household. The women is now the head of the household. So men have this ego issue. Like, I can't make my wife make more money than me. So now what happened? It becomes a conflict between two power heads going at it. Somebody's trying to compete against each other. When they start competing against each other, guess what? That foundation, it breaks apart, and that's where we get a lot of divorce. And then the men go out there and cheat, women go out there and cheat, and then you get your divorce. Now the family's destroyed. What do you do? And if somebody want to tag along to it, and maybe you want to put your own 2 cents in it, because I know I experienced it, I witnessed it, I've seen it. So I definitely seen a lot of families been destroyed because of a self ego and competing against each other, and that's what one of the, go ahead.
I know. I was just agreeing with you, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying you made a
Yeah,
lot of good points. I was saying the same thing. You made a lot
yeah,
of good points. Go ahead, keep
yeah.
going.
So for me is when it goes back to what y'all saying, is what kind of woman should you marry? And I think personally, going back what we had this conversation last week or 2 weeks ago, we need a woman that can be submissive to us. And we have lack of women that want to be submissive, because as we all stated, as we all seen from the last episode, women have their own views on being submitted to a man. uh, can a man lead a house, a home? Yeah, he can. Can a woman lead a house? Yeah, she can. But there have to be a common ground. Somebody have to do this, somebody have to do that. It's just like it's like a tag match. You tag me in when you need help, I'll tag you in when you need help. And I think that's where the marriage, it works. It connectly works when we all have a communication, we have a dialogue, we know what's going on. We don't try to be shady, trying to do this behind that other person's back. And now another thing that I see a lot is women have separate bank accounts. And you will be surprised, a man and a woman will open a bank account together, right? And later on, you'll see a woman, she opened up a separate bank account. Why? And you know what a woman usually tell you? Oh, for rainy days. For who? For her. Why? Is because she already had that pre-notion that she's dominant. She's going to be that dominant chick in the relationship. And that's the sad part. She wants to be that dominant figure. More women want to be the dominant head house of the whole, because now it goes back to what I said again. More women are making more money. And so with that mentality, they have that eager to say, you know what? I don't need him. He needs me. And that's the wrong mindset to have. And those a lot of women, and that's the problem with society now, that they use us just to give them babies, and everything else, it's like, fuck it. Excuse me if I can't cuss, but yeah.
No, go ahead. You good? Go ahead.
They like fuck it. Shit. Now women these days, hell, they don't even need a man to make babies. All they need is your semen. They have what they call the IVF now. You got all that other. All they need is your sperm. Everything else, they'll take care of it. So that's where you see a lot of women, they don't get married no more. Or if they are married, they walk away in a heartbeat. 90% of women are the one who ask for divorce.
Facts.
90% of the women that ask for divorce. So what that tell you? All they hear is to do one thing. All they hear is to do. You create with them. Once you create with them, they say, you know what? I think I can manage this on my own. And then now you have the homosexuality. Now women are turning gay now. They rather be with a woman than a man.
Facts.
Why? That's the question that we all ask ourselves. Why do a woman need to get sexual pleasure from another woman? What a woman can do that a man can't do.
Mm.
You know what? You know what that question is? And a woman cannot tell another woman what to do.
Mm-hmm.
They agree on it. So that's the issue, that it's hard to find a covenant of two people to sit there and say, hey, I'm gonna ride with you, I'm gonna die with you, we're gonna do this. Nah, these new women, they not having it. They are not having it. They'll do the marriage thing for a year or two. Then after that, they see what they need to see and they're clearing it. They rather be single than being married.
Yeah.
Man, you hearing a lot of good points, man. The show
It
over,
is,
man.
man.
I
The
don't
show
know.
over
Should
at
we
this point.
continue?
Yep.
Should we even continue? He like
Oh,
finished.
we got to. We not done
Boy,
going
he
to
did a
church
body
yet.
slam, man.
Listen, we just heard the first sermon.
Whoa.
We just heard the first sermon. It's Jabari.
Bro, my head, bro. He went in.
It's time for Jabari to go in.
Yeah, go ahead,
I
boy.
don't know
Your turn.
I don't know how I'm gonna follow up with Jeff, man.
Don't say.
He on the point with that, man. But I'm gonna speak from my perspective. You know, I've been married for like 2.5 or close to 3 years now. I get everything what Jeff is saying, man. You know, ladies, I'm talking to the fellas here. To if you want a wife, man, you're gonna have to find a female who's gonna be submissive to you. You know, especially in these times where this is a new generation where females making the most money, either through public health, either through, you know, them getting their PhD somewhere else, whatever. They're making the most money. And with the money that they're making, the ego comes around where you tell somebody in the house, oh yeah, can you wash the dishes for me? And then she'd be like, nah, I ain't washing that. You see what I'm working at? Why you don't do it? I'm making more money than you. So, you know, it's like Jeff hit on a point, man, about ego. You know, I think another thing that, you know, causes divorces is pretty much three things: communication, like what Jeff mentioned before, trust, and infidelity, of course. Communication to me is the most important thing in the marriage. You know what I'm saying? To really you and your partner being on the same wavelength, to really just sit there and just, you know, you guys on the same page. And if anything happens, you guys can sit down and talk about it, good or bad. And a lot of marriages, they don't work a lot of times because they don't, you know, the couples don't want to have a uncomfortable conversation. You're going to have that uncomfortable conversation where you're going to have to tell your partner, hey, I don't like what you're doing. You know, and your partner may not like what you just told her. And then she's going to come back with you with a rebuttal. And you ain't going to like it. But that conversation needs to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's where you get your arguments at, because again, you're dealing with two egomaniacs, because as we all know, men are alpha dogs. We're born to be alpha dogs. Now these days, the generation has changed. You have more women are more alpha dogs, because now I'm gonna use this as an example. And I went to Atlanta a couple of months ago and went down to this place in downtown Atlanta. True story. We went there, whatever. We was having dinner, whatever. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I seen two bad women. Like, I was like, damn, who the hell are those women? They came in there, sat down, whatever. They looked at our table and they wanted us to introduce ourselves. So a friend of mine went and introduced himself, whatever. Come to find out, those women were not women.
No.
Yeah, they were not women. So me being level-headed, instead of snapping and cussing them out, and I asked one of the guys, and one of the ladies, I'm gonna just call her Jamie. Jamie says, I asked her, I said, what made you decide to change your sex? She said, and that Jamie said that when I was a man, it was hard to get a girl. So now I am a girl, I can get more men. And I was sitting there like,
wow, dude.
what?
That's crazy.
And
That's crazy.
when she told me that, it just struck a nerve to me. And basically, he's saying that when he as a man, it's hard for him to get a woman, but when he's a woman, it's easy to get a man or a woman. So it's like, damn. So it goes back to what I said again. Women are now the dominant force in a relationship, no matter who they with. And I'm sitting there like, wow, where the hell we at? I felt like I was in a twilight zone. And I was just like, you know what? Let me just get on this plane, go back home, and try to forget about this experience, because I was sitting there like, wow, Atlanta, I am not coming back here again.
Oh, man.
No,
man.
definitely.
That's
But
crazy.
hey, I want Jabari to finish his opinion on what type of woman you want. So we'll do the commentary right after.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So that's just my whole point. And then also, you know, saying if you're gonna, and this is my advice, if you're gonna get married, you gotta make sure you have, as a man, you gotta make sure you have your shit in order. Like as far as, you know, your finances, your credit. Don't get fooled. Everybody tell you, oh, when ladies be like, oh, I don't care what he has or don't has, I'm gonna love him for who he is. That's a mother freaking lie. Excuse my language.
Good point, Jabbar. You hit on the
That's
nail. That's a good point. Go ahead.
that's a no, real talk. That's a lie. Because you know, female wants to see that you're able to handle yourself. If she sees that you're able to handle yourself and you got your stuff in order, then that means that okay, I could come into his situation and he could take care of me as well. You know, if you don't have not you don't even gotta have a great job. You don't have something like a great job or a great business or whatever you're doing. If you don't have you know, nowadays when we was younger, you know, our excuse to getting girls was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You give them your 5 year, your 10 year plan. But now we at the age where it's like, nah, everybody, all my friends like, yo, just make sure you got your stuff in order before you tie that knot. And as when you tie that knot, like people gotta understand, like this ain't, you know, how the movies paint it to be, you know, fairy tale. Like you wake up in the morning, you have your wife and your kids, and then y'all cooking breakfast, and y'all happy and smiling and stuff like that. It's not like that most of the time in marriage. In a marriage, you know, you being around the same female every day, not female, you're being around your same wife every day, and you're at some point you're gonna get a little bit tired. You want your space, and then when you feel that way, then that's when like the how should I say it, the impatientness, the you get a little snappy, you know, because you at the end of the day you need a little bit of space.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's important that if you're willing to marry somebody, you got to compromise. Both parties going to have to compromise. You know, definitely compromise. Both parties got to understand that hey, all that space stuff that you had when you were single ain't the case no more. You know, you guys are gonna have to stick together through the good and bad, just like how we do when we got married with our vows. You know, live by our vows. And yeah, I think that's one of the things with marriage. Marriage is, and again, marriage ain't for everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? I would never tell somebody that hey, you should definitely get married. You gotta have, you gotta want to get married. Number one. And number two, if you want to get married, you got to marry the right person. Marry that woman that's going to listen to you, be submissive to you. The number one thing is love you. You know what I'm saying? Love you who you are. Love you through your ups. Love you through your downs. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna have days where you're up, and you're gonna have days where you're down. There's a lot of females out here where they like you when you up,
Right.
but they don't like you anymore when you're down. And then when you're down, and you feel like you can get yourself up together, but they don't want that. They want a dude that's right now, that's up, and that's gonna stay up forever. And that's not gonna be the case all the time. So you got to get a female that will compromise to that will understand that. And I feel like there's some females out there that would, but there's not a lot.
Yeah.
You know, we go for the ones with I see it all the time on Facebook and my Instagram, like even people that I went to school with, you know, chicks with the bad bodies and bad everything. You know,
Hey,
those type
Jabbar,
of is up.
I have a question for you, and then I just want to, because since you're still a newlywed.
Yeah.
Now, I would just say this: in the 2 years or 2.5 years you've been married, have you and your wife ever got into a bad argument?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say every month, to be honest.
Okay. I mean, the reason why I'm telling you that, the reason why I'm asking that, because sometimes we want our viewers to understand, like, marriage is not just lovey-dovey. It does have its ups and downs, and I just wanted you to clarify that as a newlywed, you still argue with your wife, you still have disagreements, because people think they go into the notion of getting married thinking like, oh yeah, we're not gonna have problems because we have money in the bank and we got this, we got that. There's gonna be some disagree. We're gonna have some disagreements. And that's why I wanted you to say that, because you're a newlywed. But
It
continue.
ain't gotta be about how much money you got or not.
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, well, me and my wife, when we argue, and I want to put her business out there, when we argue, it ain't even about money at all. It ain't about our financial struggles. We're good financially. You know, it's the littlest shit in the world that we argue about, and it turns big. Like, for example, I remember one day, I sat there, I drunk up all the juice in the fridge, right? So she comes home, she opens up the fridge, and there's no juice in there, and she's
Boy,
snapping.
now you know you shouldn't have drunk that juice, man. Come
No, but
on,
like my thing
man.
is, if I pay
God,
for it,
oh,
listen. My thing is not. I know I was a little selfish, right? But I admit that I get selfish sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
We all
But
do.
that just nobody no
We all
nobody. You know what I'm
we
saying?
have.
No, go ahead, Jeff. My bad. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I was just basically saying we all have our moments where we just be selfish to ourselves. But go ahead, continue.
Yeah. And look, you know what I'm saying? I was thirsty. There was a little bit of juice left. Like, and I was going to drink it. Like, it's human nature. You know what I'm saying? So, but what I could have done was I could have went and grit to the grocery store real quick, got another bottle of juice, and got it there ready for her before she left. But that's just some of the things that we learn about in marriage, and how to, like, step it up, be ahead of the game with that. But going back to my point is, you're gonna have those arguments, man. You're gonna there's no way of avoiding that. And me and my wife, I love her to death. We had some of the nastiest arguments so far in our 2.5 years of marriage. And I never had these arguments before marriage in my life. These type of arguments are, we ain't cussing each other out, but they're something so little can turn so big because the lack of communication. And another thing that I try to point out as well is, like, what worked for me and my wife right now is marriage counseling. A lot of people will poo-poo on it because I don't want to talk to no shrink. I don't want to talk to nobody about, my problems what I got at home. But I'm telling you that, I feel like marriage counseling saved my marriage in these 2.5 years, because I ain't even gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? My wife had the same feeling as me. Like, we was ready to give it up. We was ready to quit because it was, we didn't really know how to communicate with each other. But if you have, like, a third party that sit there and then, listen to everything you got going on that's wrong, and you have that third party that can sit there and just tell you straight up, hey, you're doing something wrong, or wife, you're doing something wrong, and then you ready to. And then with marriage counseling, they have you to write things down on a sheet of paper or on a table, and then you and your partner will sit there and you'll talk about it. How are we going to get better with this? You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. So marriage is a grind, man. It's a grind. And I tell people all the time, like, I was one of those people that's in that lovey-dovey stage as well. But I tell people all the time, like, if you're not ready for the consequences of marriage, then don't get married. You know what I'm saying? If you're not ready to, pretty much sacrifice certain things, and don't get married, because you're doing a lot of sacrificing of your time, of your patience, of your personal space at sometimes. And yeah, so yeah, that's what I try to tell people, man. So look, I don't, I only recommend marriage for the people that wants to get married, that has that type of female that's willing to compromise, that's willing to submit to that person. You know what I'm saying? Because marriage ain't no joke, man. And I don't regret getting married at all. Because like, at the end of the day, I love my wife, and I saved a lot of money in my lifetime in these 2.5 years of being married, and I saved being single, because when you're single, you gotta take people out. You
Right,
gotta,
right.
first date. You hopefully you can get the draws at the first date, and then you don't get the draws after the first date, so you gotta do a second date. And then at the second date, you don't get the draws, then you gotta do those. I don't miss that at all. I'm being honest with you. I don't miss that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
There's only a few females that give it up without the dates at all. You know what I'm saying? But that's rare to find. And if they give it up like that, they ain't for you. But what I'm saying is, marriage just ain't for everybody. It's my honest opinion. And yeah, Jeff, you
Can
got
I ask
anything
you?
to add?
Let me ask you a question, and just to emphasize on that. Is you and your wife are like-minded people?
Yeah, we're definitely like-minded to a certain
Okay.
extent.
Because the reason
Uh,
why I asked you that, is because a lot of people misconstrue with marriage because you don't want to marry like you just stated earlier, when you can't just meet a girl and smash her and you already smashed her and you want to marry her thinking that she's married potential. You already know that what that is. But
mhm.
that's why I asked the question if you are like-minded, like her, she's like-minded like you, because again, a lot of people don't understand what that like-minded means. So, I would like to ask you, can you go into detail of how you and your wife are like-minded?
We just think we just think the same, man.
Mm,
I'm not gonna say all the time we think the same, but most
right,
times we think the same. That's where the compromise comes in. You know,
right.
and also that's where also what comes in is that you got to know your wife, and your wife has to know you. You
There you
know,
go. That's basically I wanted you to say that because again, we're our audience thinking that we're trying to dog them, or now we're not trying to dog. We're trying to actually make us see it from our point of view that
No,
we want a
definitely.
woman. We want them to see. We want you to be a representation of us, and I want to be a
Facts.
representation of you. And that's the reason why I was asking you to say that because when people listen to it, they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, they just talking shit about us." Nah,
nah,
No.
but
man.
they
They're
gotta,
standing
Jeff,
right, right,
They gotta understand. You know, the females that we met, they had a father figure in their lives. Once you
right.
get married, we the daddies now. You know what I'm saying? Like and then my woman, she understands that, I am pretty much the father figure to her now. She's the one that's going to look up to me. And it don't even matter how much money she's making or how much money I'm
Hmm.
making.
Preach.
I, she knows that if anything goes wrong, she's going to look at me to fix it at the end of the
Exactly.
day. At the end of the day. And that's the responsibility that I'm willing to take on my shoulders on a daily basis because, as a husband, and I'm sure you could have relate to this, Jeff. You know,
Hmm.
we we are leaders. We got to be leaders in marriage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? We got to be the lead, because again, and I had this conversation all the time with Roni. You know, women need guidance. You know what I'm saying? And God wants us as husbands to guide our wives, or if you're in a relationship, with you're a boyfriend girlfriend type of relationship, the boyfriend has to guide the girlfriend on what is right from wrong, or how to do this or how to do that.
Right.
And
Right.
so that
Facts.
I think the fact that me and my wife are on the same page with that, and then being the fact that me and my wife, we pretty much know each other a lot. She
Hmm.
knows certain things that I do. I know certain things about her
Right.
that she do. You know what I'm saying? Like it, and then the fact also that we also communicate. A lot of people, this is big, and Jeff, I know you can preach to this.
Hmm.
Communication is key. It is key.
Definitely.
You can't,
Definitely.
you can't sit here and hold nothing back.
You can't.
Nothing.
Because the thing is, a lot of things, and I'll just say this, and a lot of women may agree with me and disagree with me. When you with your wife, right? And your wife gets you in she gets you upset, or you get her upset. That little thing that you tell her that make her upset, she's gonna make mental notes of it, right? She's gonna make mental notes of it. And
Hmm.
then if y'all have another argument, she's gonna bring the word that you said to her that got her upset and bring it, throw it in your face. So, and I always tell people, when you are in a situation or in a relationship or married, you gotta watch what you say to these women because these women are very vulnerable, and
Yes.
they're very vulnerable. We as men, we have tough skin. Some of us do, some of us don't. Because I can always say, when I was married, when my wife used to say something to me, I could take it. I could take it because I always told her, me and her are not cut from the same cloth, right?
Right.
Because
Right.
she grew up with a mom and dad. Me, I grew up with my grandmother, so I understood certain things. I can take certain things, and she couldn't take certain things. So I had to really watch what I say and how I say it, and because women are very vulnerable. So I say this because with the communication part, that's the communicating part, and that's and a lot of people don't realize when you arguing with your wife, if you say something really crazy to her, that right there can just turn her off and say, you know what, she no longer want to deal with you no more.
Oh
Because
yeah.
yeah, so I just say, and when you say the communication part, that's why I said we have to, as men, we have to very watch our tongues because our tongues can be really dynamite here. So
Oh, I
that's so.
trust me, dude.
Mhm.
Trust me. I said some things already.
Yeah,
Well, I said some things already where it got me in the fire a few times, and
right,
that's just
right.
in the beginning stages of marriage.
Mm.
That my tongue is powerful. There's a lot of things like you said, Jeff. There's a lot of things I could take because I was cut from a different cloth. Y'all know I'm from I'm from the city. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Born and
right.
raised. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things I can take. And then my wife, she's from New York. She's always born and raised in the
Mm.
suburbs. So it's just like when I say when one time I can tell you one time. One time we got into an argument, and I said something that I shouldn't have said. Not really name calling her or anything like that, but I just said something. She didn't. She couldn't take that, and then I had to really sit
Mm.
there and think about it because it's like, well, she's not from where I'm from. I can't talk to her in that type of tone, like
Basically,
how I would talk to anybody
Right.
else or how I talk to the boys. So I had
or a
to
woman from
really,
Florida,
yeah,
because a woman
yeah.
from Florida probably would have took it been more receptive to what you were saying compared to her, because she culturally she's not from here.
Right, right, right. Like if I would have told somebody from Florida, if I would have told somebody from Florida saying "fuck you," for example, they would have told me "fuck me back," and they
Basically,
would have been saying "fuck each other," and then something would have, that's how we get down.
yeah.
But I can't say that to my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't. If I don't care how bad the argument is, I can't say those type of things to her because she's not cut from the same cloth that I cut from. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So there's little things like that I had to learn in marriage, and that's another thing, fellas, man. If you are gonna get married, that's why I say know your woman, man. Know what she can take and what she cannot take. There's a lot of things they can't take verbally because they're emotional creatures. I'm not okay. Emotional human beings, not creatures. I apologize about that. But they're very emotional. So words will hurt them more. They will hurt a man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So, there's little things I'm still learning. I'm having this conversation right now, 2.5 years in, and I'm still learning about marriage, man. I'm still learning.
Mm.
I know the basic things on how to keep this running. And it's this communication and compromise, man, and trust. Those are the big three things, man.
Yes.
Communication is the number one thing over
Yes.
the trust. Because if you don't talk to your partner and y'all just quiet, somebody gonna get up and say, I can't do this no more, man. You don't talk to me anyway. I'm gonna go. I'm out. I'm out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had to
Yeah.
learn that, man. I had to
You're
learn that. You
you're
know what I'm
right.
Yeah.
saying?
You're right. Let me ask you a question. You said she's from New York. What is she culturally?
Well, she's Haitian American like you guys.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
ooh, ooh,
yeah,
boy, I don't
yeah,
know how. Ooh, Lord
yeah.
Jesus.
Look. Listen, man. You can ask Ronnie, man. Every girl that I had was Haitian. You know what I'm saying? I love Haitian women. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I just since I was a kid, I just love Haitian women. But I think what and don't get me wrong, my wife, she has a tongue too. But it's like, it's not as bad as somebody from Florida or somebody from where we at saying something that might, hit us a little bit harder than what's coming out her mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Right.
So
That.
yeah, she's I met a lot of Haitian women that are not traditionally wife material. Now, what
I
I mean by that, somebody that's like, not, you know what you got to do. You got to
oh,
submit to your husband. You got to make sure not saying clean up after him. But I'm just saying like, hey, you got to cook, you got to clean. you gotta be doing the house chores while the guy goes out there and work.
Yeah, definitely. And
But that's not nowadays. It's not.
no, not a lot of Haitian. You know, you're speaking to somebody who haven't dated a Haitian girl in like over 10 years. You know what I mean? So I know what you mean by that. You know what I mean? So, but you know,
A lot
that's
of them
what I
down
say.
there in Miami. A lot of them down there in Miami too now.
Oh yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Keeping out
Yeah, a
100
lot
with
of
you.
them. More power to you. You know what I mean?
More
But
power to you, man.
you're right. So and what you and Jeffrey said was so powerful. And you know what I mean? It's me and Roni's turn for us to give
Go
our
ahead.
opinion of what we think. Roni, I don't know if you want to go first or you want me to go. Roni.
No, I'm here. My bad. I was trying to press on mute button. No, I'll go for. I like because you know you're gonna really go win. So
Yeah.
mine is pretty much short because they really much already hit the main the main points. You know what I'm saying? They say some powerful stuff. So I'm just gonna kind of back on some of the stuff they have said because my thing with the biggest issue with the United States, the standard of marriage is lost. Okay, they don't know what marriage really truly means. Everybody's standard is going by what the United States standard of marriage is. But anybody from other cultures, like from the Haitian, I mean, from the real Haitian culture, I mean, from overseas or India or even Jewish people that different is from outside the United States, you see they have longer marriages. Why? Because they know how to value one another, and not only that, but the women themselves are in their feminine role. That is the we have in the United States women today. Most of the women now is trying to be masculine, and they losing a lot of their feminine roles. So the man is trying to tell the woman be feminine, but she don't know how to, because like Jabari and Jeffrey said, they are the breadwinners. They're making most of the money, and now since this feminine movement started, they ask boost the women up even more. So they say, "F the brothers, F the man. We don't need that. Period." Because y'all no good anyway, because half of y'all is in jail, half of y'all gay, half of y'all is turning into women like us. So what the hell we need y'all for? So when you understand that logic, you yourself have to stay in your masculine frame, meaning that you got to start checking these women, for one. You get what I'm saying? And I also had a conversation with my, because he kept, you know, I'm not going to say his name, but he kept telling his woman how he loved her. And I told him, stop doing that. And he was like, Roni, why? No man's supposed to say I love her. I said, no. For a man's role, a man's supposed to be able to show the woman the way he loves her through his actions. You understand? Not through his words. Women believe word all day. Not only that, but women are known for being liars. Even Hakeem can attest to that. Women are born liars. They breathe. That's just part of their nature. They just born to lie. I think Jabari and Jebby could agree on that. That's just in their nature. You can't go against something that's already in their nature. But you as a man got to stay in your masculine frame and stay in the truth. So if a woman's out of line, you have to bring her back into the truth.
Did you say women are born liars?
Yes. Women are.
Get us killed.
Hey, Roni, man.
Okay, this is why. Okay, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna tell you why women are born liars. The women wear their natural hair. The women wear their natural nails.
Well,
everything on them is fake.
Hold on.
Everything on them is fake, so therefore that's a lie.
Hold on. Before we get killed out here.
Yeah.
Let's not say lies. Let's use they like.
No, you can't be afraid to say that. You can't be afraid of that because that's the problem. We as men, we are afraid of turning.
So, Brody,
it's the truth.
I see where this is going. So I want
you want to stay there. You want to stay in this. You want to stay in this type of energy because we tend to like cater women's feelings too much to the point that they lost their feminine role. You have to bring them back into the feminine role. So your job as a man, gotta say, you know, maybe start with your natural hair. You need to start wearing fake nails. You need to wear your dress size. Start wearing fake dress sizes. That's a lie.
Do me a favor.
Go ahead.
I want you to give me a list. I just want you to break down a list of the things that you're looking for in a wife.
Okay. Like I just stated, I want to wear her natural look, her natural hair, nails, able to take discipline. You understand? Now, when I mean discipline in the way that if I'm trying to better you as a woman, like I'm telling you, baby, this is what you should be eating. This is what you should be working out. Stuff that benefit her in the long haul. Because as you know, especially when it comes to they're dying faster than the men because of the lack of bad eating habits. Someone like me and someone like Hakeem and Jeffrey and Jabari, those feeding that into your woman. Right or wrong?
Can I
So
interject?
we allowing the woman die before us.
Can I interject?
Argument and discussion. Go ahead.
Hold up. Can I interject? Okay. So I get what you're saying, but man, we have to actually be kind of soft on how we say these things to these women.
Yes.
Because remember, they're gonna listen to this, and then we're gonna get flack about it.
Yeah.
So we got
okay, but you know I can introduce you that too. But you know that's the same woman that I go to you say, baby, you lose some weight. Maybe you wear big shoes. Maybe why your pants are sagging. Maybe you need to go get a haircut. So what's the problem to do that to them?
Okay.
Because you know I'm telling the truth. It's not. We're not bashing the woman. We're trying to bring the woman back. Go ahead.
I definitely
where you're getting at.
But again, as Jabari and I say, women are very sensitive, and women don't like us talking about their weight.
But you just hear what I just said. They will tell you need a haircut. You need to lose some weight. You can take that as offense. You don't, because as a man, you say, you know what? She's trying to better me. A woman should be able to feel that same result by her being so so sensitive. Go ahead.
Remember what we said. Men and women, we're cut from a different cloth. We can take certain things. A woman can tell us certain things. We'll just brush it off. We're like, all right, cool, whatever. But when a woman
all the time, no.
No. Okay. But when you tell a woman something, that little thing, she would make a mental note of it, and she will run with. She will replay. She will replay it in her head.
What I'm trying to say, we want her to have a mental note of it, because you know why? You know, there's some man right now. If a woman tell a man you are nothing, a man will go commit suicide. Right or wrong?
Well,
I mean,
that's kind of weak mind, man. But
that's what I'm saying. It's the truth. Remember, I keep saying we gotta stop denying the truth and receive the truth, so we can better our women and better our relationship with these women. Because now, what the problem is now, like I say with me, I can see it within my eyes. Women are obesity, especially when it comes to black women, especially Haitian women. They eating stuff they shouldn't be eating. They're having a hard time carrying child.
Tone it down, baby.
But no, because the thing is, this lead up to marriage. Because if you don't have these discussions early,
you're gonna get us
killed. You're gonna get married to the woman, and then you're gonna end up in divorce court.
You're gonna get us killed.
No, that's what. No, but remember, Jabari not saying that. Jerry not saying that. It's me speaking. They could come after me, but I'm gonna go in with the facts. It's not about feelings here. It's about what is fact and what is true. Y'all laughing because it's the truth. But I'm gonna just finish there because I don't want to get too far. You feel me?
Yeah, man.
But,
you want to get this video flagged.
No, I'm not gonna get the video flagged. Good, it needs to get flagged, because the thing is, you get what I'm saying? Because you know why? People that's afraid of the truth gonna flag the video. They listen to too much nonsense, and then the truth is being hidden. This is the type of platform, especially right now, between men. We need to have these type of discussion, because a lot of men are afraid to have these type of discussion. And like I said, they will marry these women, and they end up in divorce court, and the woman take everything from them, and they end up committing suicide, or they end up turning gay, or they end up in prison. So which one is it?
Yeah, I definitely get. I just want to say something. Like, if my wife is listening to this, you know what I mean? Like, you know how I feel, my baby. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand where Ronnie's coming from here.
Yeah.
I mean, at a certain point, you got to be a little bit honest, but not how he's being honest.
Yeah.
But like, you got to, like, you know, hey.
But Jabari, I just say it again. You know, women are more honest with their boss than you.
Yeah, that's
Ooh.
So you see what I'm saying? You said I'm going in with the facts.
You
got a point there.
I ain't gonna say that.
So why are you so afraid to be honest with your wife? That's your wife. That's your part. That's your other half. That's your better half. Be able, baby, listen to me. I'm trying to better our relationship. I'm trying to better you as a woman, as a mother of my kids. Listen to what I'm telling you. Go ahead.
But
You
Ronnie,
can't beat the truth, bro. Go
yeah, I
ahead.
know you. I ain't being that true. No, I get it. But that's why we go back to the point where say you got to know your woman, because if you say that if you know your woman is sensitive and you know your wife is sensitive, and it's certain if you come direct to the truth, like how you coming at it, certain women like they get depressed very easily. You tell them something, you know what I'm saying, they depressed, they down. Like I
But you
know
know, but what's my argument I just made? They're more honest with the boss than you. The
oh no, I
boss is
ain't
telling them the
arguing.
truth. They still sensitive, but they still obey the boss. At the end of the day, Jabbar, you are the boss of the household, right or wrong.
I am. Yeah, you're right.
You got a point there.
It's just you got a point. I can't
Hakeem, no,
argue
I'm
with
gonna go in. That's why Hakeem like, Ronnie, slow it down, because this argument is not an argument. It's a build. We're trying to build one another as brothers and sisters. So for us to build one another, you gotta hear the truth, and you gotta know how to work with the truth, work with life. Stop making excuses. You gotta grow up and live with life. You get what I'm saying? So
it's different
right.
from telling somebody to pretty much, hey, let's work out together. Let's drop a few pounds.
facts. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, Jabbar.
Okay,
I'm not saying like
because I ain't
do
gonna call my woman
I'm
fat.
just
You feel
cutthroat
me?
that way.
You know what I
But
mean?
don't be like me. I'm cutthroat. You understand?
You,
So all the women out there, that's
I
just
know
me.
you.
Well, he all the way
Yeah, you
live.
know me. I'm just cutthroat. But however, women now are looking for this type of man who I'm speaking of right now. They looking at that type of man to challenge them as a woman. But these men now became too soft, too feminine. So guess what? They're going to they're going to the women.
Ooh.
Hey man.
I'll stop there. I'm done. I'll stop there. Go ahead, King. Your turn.
Okay,
Hey, bro, you might as well
damn.
take over the rest of the podcast,
I
man.
must just say he said a mouthful. He said a mouthful, and then I was like,
boy, Ronnie, man, water,
Boy,
man,
that boy,
boy.
hey, Ronnie done eat for somebody.
he did. He done went off.
Yeah.
Don't flash the video, people. Do not
I
flash
do
the
agree.
video. Don't flash
But
the video. You know what I
I
mean?
do agree with Ronnie with one point though. Like men has to stop being soft though.
No,
You know what
they
I'm saying?
do. They do.
Like you can't be beta if you're married.
Be passive in a situation like that.
You
So
just cannot. You just cannot.
You gotta know how to play your cards. There's
100%.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying. Exactly. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I did go off on somebody. I ain't gonna say the person's name. I did go off on somebody because a woman, that type of woman, needs that type of challenge. You understand?
Yeah.
Because
definitely.
they know if you out of line, you gone. You get what I'm saying? So because that's a business deal. If we consider to be a partner and you mess up a deal, you gone.
Hey, you want to
Unless
hear
you take
something?
ownership, you apologize, we work together, and we build again. That's how life goes. There is no sense. Come on now. The problem is because that's why I say I don't really want to talk about religion. I don't want to talk about that because most of our women go to church. Most of our women go and they're using that as an excuse to entangle a man. And then when they get inside a man get inside their lives. Okay, they use that excuse and make the man more less than he truly is. A man is greater than him. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
He's hitting some points there.
Yeah, he did. But I like to say this, bro. And this is a true story. This happened. I had a conversation with this girl, and she's a sports addict, and she said she takes marriage like a basketball contract. She says she'll sign up for 5 years, then on the 4th year she has an option player plan. And I said, what that mean? I said, what an option player plan? She's like, if the 4th year ain't going well, I'm opting out.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Wow. You see how you see how these women is now?
No. But you
see what I'm saying?
You are telling the truth because statistically, out of the
go ahead, Hakeem, please go ahead.
No. He is saying something that's very true. Statistically, out of the few black women that do get married, like 50% of them file for divorce.
Yes. No, 90%, bro. It's
90% of them file for divorce. He is telling the truth about that.
He is. Jeffy telling the truth
about that. So that's something. And they also say, men tend to not leave the situation even though it's bad. We always the last person to leave. Even though if it's a messed up situation, we never actually break up the relationship. It's
and
always.
You know why? You know why? Because men, as I heard this, multiple men say that. Most men don't believe in divorce because they feel like they believe that they invested into that person Yeah,
Facts.
it's like they invest into that person. Whatever situation that is so bad, they should be able to fix it. But women don't see it that way. Women see it that once she's tired of you, she's tired of you, and there's no
And,
coming back. And then
and,
you ask them, and then you wonder why divorce is so high because women are the ones who's more likely to give up on the marriage than a man will.
Facts.
but
Yeah, we
that's the
speaking truth.
job.
That's the
But that's
truth.
the
We speaking truth.
that is the truth. But here's another thing, because I was at one point, I was almost ready to give up as well. This is the job of the husband, to pretty much keep things afloat. You know what I'm saying? Because pretty much, again, now if your woman turns out to be completely different from what she was when you guys got married, and then she's not faithful and blah blah blah, that's one thing. But if you're seeing that she's trying and then she's trying to be better, but she's giving up, and the reason why women like that give up because the men is not stepping up, being like, "Hey, you're gonna hold my hand. We're gonna pretty much get over this." You know what I'm saying?
Right,
And that's why
right.
I'll say like marriage count. Now I get it. A lot of people's situations are different with divorce. Certain women at the end of the day ain't shit. You too, what you just said, Jeff, about the opt-out plan.
Yeah,
After the fourth year, it ain't working out, I'm
Facts.
out.
I'm out.
You know what I'm saying? But you got to have, if you got that woman that's trying and she's trying to make things right and this just doesn't work, it's up to the husband to try to help her now. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
Jabari, this one gonna really hurt because you know that scripture. Because I know a lot of people, subscribe to the Bible. You know the scripture between Adam and Eve story. Everybody know the scripture between Adam and Eve story.
Right, right.
What went wrong? What went wrong in that story was Adam listened to Eve instead of Adam being the man and telling Eve, "No, you should never eat that apple. What are you doing?"
Eve manipulated him to eat
You
the
see what I'm saying? But Adam fell off his role as masculine and allowed
Right.
Eve to take charge, which
But
messed up the whole. It perverse things. You get what I'm saying?
that
Because
but it
it's a
goes
man's world. It's a man, not a man's world. It's a man's role to tell the woman, "Hey, baby, you're doing this wrong. No, don't eat that apple. Don't, because our
yeah,
Father in heaven told us not to eat the apple. So that's
right.
why man is the I like Jabari's quote where he said, "Man is the reason. Man is his key role is to guide the woman.
Yeah,
But if
and
you're
then
afraid to guide her, where the hell is she gonna go? She's gonna
Right.
leave.
right. You just can't have the female to just try to make up her own decisions and
Right,
life.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta like they say, you have to be the voice of reason.
That's the
Facts.
reason.
On
Facts.
on that.
But I get what
That was deep.
Jeff point as well. There's certain females ain't trying to listen. You know what I'm
They ain't trying to
saying?
listen. Because you gotta think,
They ain't trying to listen. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna do their
Ronnie,
own thing. And that's the type of women you don't want to be. You want to be with those type of
right,
women.
right.
Right.
Because you got a lot of women, they come with their egos. And their egos are really high. And their
Yeah.
egos
Facts.
is they come in here to dominate the relationship. You have a lot of
Mhm.
women want to dominate the relationship. And when I say dominate the relationship, they want to tell you when you can have sex with them,
Yep.
when we can go out with them,
Yep.
Yep.
when we can go out together,
Oh,
when I
Jeffy
can
hitting
post
Yep.
bars
Yep.
right now.
Yep. But
when
listen here. You
go ahead.
control the marriage. You the reason why she got married.
Facts.
How she controlling that when you the reason gave her the marriage? Only thing
Preach.
she
Exactly.
can't
Preach.
control is the sex. That's really all.
Exactly.
That's really all she can control is sex.
Exactly. And but she's already manipulating she already manipulating the relationship because now she controls sex. She controls when you can do this, when you can do that, when we can go out, when I can post you on Instagram, when I can post you on social media.
Yeah.
Women control that. That's why I say when
That's
you say
not your
women
wife then. That's your roommate.
there you go.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh
That's
man.
not your wife.
There you
That's your
go.
roommate.
And that's where you got a lot of men gotta be very careful because women
Wow.
they are the best manipulator. They can play the victim role very well.
Yeah,
Very
definitely,
well.
definitely.
So when we see these women, they be like, you see these. Why you think sometimes when you see women on social media, you ask like, damn, where's her dude? Where's her dude? You know what the dude is doing? The dude is the one who's holding the camera. He's holding the camera. He's
Yeah.
the camera.
That's real.
No,
That's real. Yeah.
Most of these girls' pictures, they're in relationships, but you never see the picture of the man. You got a
Exactly.
lot
Why?
of girls.
Why, Hakeem? Why? Tell them why.
Um,
Go in. Please
Go
go
ahead.
in, bro. Just go in this one time.
I'm just saying, man. It's there's so many things I could say about that because I know women who are married and don't got their husband on their Facebook, and then you say to yourself that, yeah, a lot of the time that they marry beta males. And sometimes these beta males, these women are not attracted to their husbands. A lot of times these niggas be runner-ups. They couldn't listen, they couldn't marry GED George, so they got, hey, I'm gonna take it there. They couldn't marry GED George, who was slanging pipe, so they got them to runner up, Jean Baptiste from the chess club. You know what I mean? So they got him, because you want to know why? Jean Baptiste from the chess club, who is nice and who wasn't a savage like that. He didn't really get pussy like that. He really was looking for marriage. She say, you know what I mean? He can get this used leftover pussy. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give him that. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And let's be honest about this. A lot of times, women force us into monogamy. They force us into marriage. You know what I'm saying? I've been forced into marriage proposals before, and it didn't work out that well. I'm gonna be honest about that. You know what I mean? And that's the time, you know what I mean? Women like to put up this facade that they live in a happy life. They post these pictures up with the foods. They live in Nash. They on trips. You never see men around.
Never.
Never see the men. Huh?
They're around. They're around. This is not showing them.
They're not showing them. You never see the men around.
He's holding the camera.
He's holding the camera, and they want to portray like they're living this happy, single, independent life when they know they're lonely and they know they're going to die alone. But you know, I'm gonna get into that. But I do want to give my list of what I feel. Yeah. Let me give my list.
Hakeem.
Yeah,
Hakeem gonna go in.
I'm gonna give my list. A short monologue. You know what I mean? For people who don't know, my mother and father been together for 40 years. I want you to take that into account. My mother is the most submissive woman I've ever seen. Cook, clean. I've woke up in the morning watching her iron his shirts to go to work. And matter of fact, it could be Monday and she's ironing shirts for next week. So now, take that into account. My daddy been in jail before. My mama go out and bought him out. Every time he had caught a case, went out and bought him out.
Wow.
You know what I mean? My daddy had issues with, you know what I mean, going out there in the street. You know how Haitian men are. Fooling around with, she still worked out the relationship. Now, here's the thing with that. With that being said, I'm going to say one word that a lot of y'all didn't say, but I know y'all wanted to say this. And this is a key thing that men want, but we tend to forget this word very much. My number one key attribute of what I want for a marriage is cooperation. Submissiveness is the number one thing, but cooperation is one. Listen, I'll sacrifice looks for cooperation. I want you to think about that. I need a woman that's cultured, because we know that dealing with women who are based from an American culture, and I'm talking about, you know what I mean, they tend to think of themselves. Most women are selfish. Lots of times you get in conversations with them, their wants and needs are one-sided. They think you pleasing them pleases you. This is why you tend to never hear what the man wants in a relationship. You tend to never hear what he desires, what he looks for, because a lot of the times what we look for are not monetarily. Women want things that are monetary. House, you have to be financially inclined. You got to be able to provide, and this and that. Now, I want to ask y'all brothers a question. When was the time you've ever had a woman want you and there was no money involved? I could tell you
Never. Most of the women I dated, you have to for me, I had to be working or doing something financially.
What about you, Jabari?
No, same. You know, I could sit here and go on a tangent that, you know, my girl doesn't think that way, but, you know, I'm sure her, and when we first met, I'm sure the fact that I was working in the courthouse when I'm down in Miami, that pretty much was like, damn, he got his head together.
He got bread.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm asking, you got a solid job. You working?
Yeah. Jabari had none but solid job.
You working at the courthouse?
I had worked at the courthouse when I met her, so that's when it's like, oh, his head is straight.
See, he was making money. See, I can't making money.
You was wearing that green and white?
Now I was wearing green and white. I was wearing black and white because I was in the civil, but you know, hey, same thing.
It's same thing, yeah. So you was appealing. Now, mind you, The only time I've ever dealt with a woman that accepted me for no money is when you're younger, and
Yeah.
money's not the main focal point for younger women. Am I wrong?
No, no, right.
You go, if you had like 25, 50 cents back then, man, you get yourself a little hot sausage and some chips for 50 cents, and then
Facts.
you give it to the lady.
Preach.
Good.
And she's
You know?
splitting it with you,
And she's splitting it.
yeah, and she's split, and that's the thing too. Like, I think dealing with a woman who's cultured tends to not focus more on the monetary gain and focus more on the intent or the content of the person. That's what I'm looking for. You know what I'm trying to say? And if I go ahead.
No, my bad, Hawk. I just want to say something real quick.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to point it out that I feel like my wife is kind of cultured as well. I mean, she is Americanized, but to a certain degree, but she is cultured because, you know, I remember times us being married and I was down to my last. At one point I was down to my last dollar, and you know, I could just wake up the next morning and I could just see a few dollars in my account because she put it in my account because
Man,
she
that's
had some
good.
money.
I like
That's
that.
good.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
like,
the Haitian in her.
That's
Yeah,
the
it is. That's the Haitian.
That's the Haitian in her. To be honest with you.
Yeah, that is.
Right. So that's
Wow,
what I'm saying.
that's good.
I know a lot of female aren't cultured, but I feel like my woman is definitely cultured. And I just want to point that out to you, by the way.
No. You're telling the right thing. I'm telling you, you're saying the same thing what my mother have done.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I'm
good.
talking about
I never had that experience, King. I never had that experience.
Oh,
I ain't lying to you.
be honest with you, me either. You know what I mean? I'm talking about being. Now, mind you, let's get this clear because I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack because I do have women who listen to me.
Oh yeah, he do.
Yeah.
A lot of women. Oh my God.
Listen. Right. In a relationship, I've never had a woman did more than what I did for them. Because let me tell you something, Jabari, what you talking about is that's a wife.
Yeah.
That's a wife. What you talking about? Her putting that bread in there and not thinking that I did a favor for you. No, that's a wife we talking about. Right. You know what I mean? You could barely get your wife to give you some money because her account is her account.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm trying to say? Now, mind you, we're gonna start talking about certain things. What you saying, Jeffrey? The only reason why women come in here competing with us because they stand on them worthless degrees. Yeah, I said it.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why she did. Yeah, I said it. She stand on them worthless degrees thinking she running shit in here. Because a lot of us men don't go to college, right?
Breach.
That's right. And you know what? Let me emphasize this on to you. You know who really messed up the marriage game?
Go ahead.
The drug dealers and the scammers. Because women got caught on to that.
Listen, in Miami, you are right.
He's right.
In Miami here, we can speak for Miami. I don't know about Pennsylvania. I don't know about any other place. In Miami, if you around here in the foreign, most women want a scammer. But listen here. I want to say this. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to a lot of you ladies out here. Lord Jesus. A lot of y'all.
Jabari, hold your ears there, bro.
Listen. Women going to get mad. And Jabari, I want you to listen to me and tell me if I'm wrong about this.
All right.
A lot of these women's standards be too high, knowing that they're not going to marry a dude that's a lawyer. He's not checking for you. Mm-hmm. Most of y'all women at most are going to be able to marry Twan from Publix warehouse. I'm being real.
What's your thing about the grocery stores, man?
No, I'm being real. Twan from Publix warehouse. You know what I mean? Jackson from Winn-Dixie warehouse. John from U-Haul. Trayvon, who's the assistant manager of electronics at Walmart. You rarely gonna marry Kitchen that's a police officer.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Or Valdez, who's a detective at Miami-Dade. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Listen, you got to be super bad, or he got with you in high school. If he's a correctional officer, tell me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right, man. You going in, boy?
No, I'm just saying because this is the thing about it. But us men, when we look for wives, we don't care what money you make. Sometimes we be marrying these chicks, they don't even got high school diplomas.
True.
Yeah.
I
That's a
think
fact.
I think Hakeem though. I think we need to start worrying about that though. To be quite honest with
Oh
you.
no, you telling the
Yeah.
truth. Oh, now
Yeah.
we are. Now
Oh,
we are.
definitely. Because
Because let me tell you some things are changing now. Go ahead.
Yeah.
no, go ahead,
Go
Hakeem.
ahead.
Share, preach.
Because you know, like I was saying earlier, these scammers and drug dealers ruin it because women are got caught with the living the dope boy life and the rapper's lifestyle. And then the guy who's really making a 9 to 5, who's really making their work, they making their money, they get overlooked. So when they go end up, and I'm just speaking for black men now, when these guys that's making the 9 to 5, they go marry a white woman, and then these scammers and these drug dealers get dead or go to prison, and they see these black men that work 9 to 5, and they with another woman that don't look like them, they be like,
Mm.
oh, he's a sellout, or he this, or he that. But
Preach.
when he was working his 9 to 5, he was working at McDonald's. Then 5 years later, he ended up becoming the owner of McDonald's. That's making $1 million a year. And he's able to do this, taking his wife to a lavish vacation, and their kids are going
That's
to
true.
private school and all this other stuff. But you was not looking at him when he was making that 9 to 5. You was looking at that dope boy and that scammer. But then these girls, these women, they be like, oh, these niggas out here ain't shit because why? They got caught into the materialistic thing. And then go ahead.
No, you're right.
He's right.
The reason is because you're chess club Gene. No, I'm just being honest. And let's be very clearly about that. You're chess club Gene, and you're not GED George. And mind you, women tend to go for GED George. And ladies, we're using these as references and keywords. Now, let me break something down for you. Those type of women, men like me, you, Jabari, and Ronnie, we don't go after those kind of women. You know what I mean? And then you do have some professional women who fall into those cracks who want scammers. But I want to talk about the women that we do go after who do have the degrees, who are the assistant managers. They work at the driver license place. They work at the food stamp office. You know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking
I know
about.
you're talking about. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
These are the ladies who give us the most problems because of the amount of rhetoric they put on us on a daily day basis, and they judge us for A, not having the money we want, 2, not being the type of man we want, but they still end up with us because they know we're the best possible opportunity for them to get married.
Yeah, and you know why they feel that way with us, right? Because they when they go in their jobs, they look at their managers and how their managers are like, their guys, for example.
Yep.
And you see how they running things, and then they come home to us. It's like, well, damn, you're not the manager that I saw at work. You know what I'm saying? So,
And that was funny, Jabari. And that's the same analogy I was telling you how women are more truthful with their boss
yeah,
instead of you
that
being at home. You saying the same thing I said
that
earlier.
that was a quotable.
Yeah. Jabari he just high five me on that one.
No,
Because
that
it
was
makes
a quotable.
sense.
That was a
Yeah.
quotable. So that's why I say we need to come down to a conversation. And Jabari, you did hit a point where you did hit a point where I say that, and we can agree on this one. When men look for women, we don't care about your degrees, because that don't bring food to the table for us. Because you want to know something, you ain't spending no money with us anyway. You expect us to pay for everything. So yeah, you got a degree in psychology.
Facts.
Yeah, you have a bachelor's in nursing. I can't stand on that because I'm expected to pay everything. I can't.
Right. What they gonna do for me? Right.
Yeah, basically, I can't fold that and eat it in the burger.
You know.
You know what I mean? And that's the point. So I think men need to start being more critical about the type of women they date. You know what I'm saying?
And that's it. That's it, man. That's it.
But
And and being like, as you said, being critical, it's hard to be critical with women because when you start being critical with them, they be like, "Oh, you judging me because I'm trying to do this and you're not even being supportive." How can I be supportive if you not even looking at me in the first place?
basically,
facts.
So I have to, and it's funny how you said it. Black men have to work 3 times as hard than Hispanics and a white man to get.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because they look at us like, okay, a white man and a Hispanic man, 9 out of 10 they have both mom and dads. Mom and dads have good jobs. Mom and dad have checking and saving accounts on their end. So financially, they're financially stable, right? So if they want to open up a business, they can do that. So they're already ahead of the game. They're already ahead of the curve than a black man. Black man, if he ain't playing football or basketball, he gonna be doing what? Drug dealing or scamming.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
to get money,
Facts.
to get money, so it's already hard on us as black men to go to school, to do this, to do that, because guess what? The society has proven to us, black man, they don't want a black man to make it. They really don't want a black man to make it. So when a black man's trying to find himself a queen, the black man have to do more, so much more than another guy just to get with that person.
To
And
obtain a
then
wife.
to obtain a wife, and then that same wife goes back and shit on him.
Oh yeah, definitely. Listen here. I can sit here and tell you I'm gonna be very transparent with you. I'm a convicted felon. I'm a convicted felon, my nigga. So just imagine my earning potential has been capped to a certain thing. So just imagine the type of woman that don't talk to me just for that particular reason. Because I don't tend to get the type of jobs that lead me to be successful. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how intelligent I am, doesn't matter how smart I am, and doesn't matter about all of that. And you have a lot of women, and mind you, I know a lot of women are going to say, oh, they don't care about that, but the type of women we go after care about that. And I want to be very clear about that. You know what I mean? I love it. I love a woman who's very versed, who can talk, who can hold a conversation. Those tend to be the ones who stand on their degrees. You feel me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But what they want a man with an earning potential. Statistically, you can go look this up. Men who have better jobs and they're financially more secure, they are the best. They have more options to get married compared to men who don't. It's 53% of black men in America who are unmarried with no kids, and a lot of them are middle-aged workers. We're talking about the niggas at Walmart. We're talking about the niggas at U-Haul. Dixie, we talking about the landscaping guys, the guys who washing car wash. Unless he's fucking with Sharmisha from out the projects, then I don't know how you tend to get you a woman who is ideal. You know what I mean? So that's why I said we do need to come down and have a conversation, because if not, this thing of ours, you know what I mean, is going to be an issue. You know what I mean? This is why men, you know what I mean, because we've been riding out for a minute, and I'm going to use this as my last point, and then we're going to go around. When you look for a type of woman, Jabari hit a big point. Find somebody that's gonna love you for you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And Jeff hit a good point. Find somebody who's not gonna compete with you and is able to help you. You know what I mean? And the last point I want to point is, no matter what, if she's making more money than you, she still has to make sure that you're the man of the house.
Yes.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
It's gonna come to a point where my wife is gonna make more money than me pretty soon. But you know, at the end of the day, like you said, she understands who's the man here. You know what I'm saying?
Basically.
At the end of the day, you know, she listens to me, and you know, I'm the key to survival, pretty much. So I 1000% agree with that, Hakeem.
I agree.
Perfect. My brother's wife make more money than him, but their relationship was so solid and so intact. I'm talking about, I had to put some respect on her name. She doesn't make a move without his consent. They talk, they're a partnership, but she's allowed him to be a man. You know what I mean? And mind you, funny thing I'm about to tell you, she's Black American, but she's cultured. Meaning she's from the deep South, from a small town.
Yeah.
She's not influenced by a lot of this junk that we see here in Miami.
Yeah, because remember down here is the city girls. Remember that's why they came out with the city girls, because women down here are just as more lost.
And let me tell you something. Didn't JT had a baby with Southside? She just had a baby.
Yeah.
Now she's no. She left him. Hello.
She left him.
She left him. Now she's a single mom.
You see?
But she was bragging about it when she was pregnant that, I got him for another 18 years.
Wow.
I didn't know that. Wow.
She left him. Yo, let me tell you something, ladies. And this is my last quotable. Listening to the city girls gonna end up getting you some AIDS or dying alone. And that's all I gotta say on that.
Damn. He's right. He's right.
That's all I gotta say on that. So that's the point on that, man. So yeah,
That's
brothers.
a heavy point.
Yeah, find you a woman who's gonna love you, who's gonna stand by you, no matter if you got 15 cents in your pocket. But I'm gonna be very honest with you. You dudes gotta date accordingly. I'm just being real with you, because let me tell you something. Don't go try to date a woman who's looking for a man who makes money. No, don't look after them girls. You gotta date. Listen, you gotta date. You gotta date according to who you are as a person.
That's
Not
the
what
number
you.
one thing you should be saying, Hakeem,
Yeah.
to the fellas.
No, for
Fellas,
real.
make sure you have your shit together
Yeah,
before
you
you even
do.
thinking about dating.
You don't even think about dating, and be very transparent and honest about your situation. Some women are easily will accept you just the way you are.
When
I know.
nowadays, I think it's very important in these times. It's very important that fellas have their shit together. Number one, that's the rule. I know a couple of guys that the priorities all messed up, where they have nothing going for themselves, but they want to go out and find a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just being honest. It's just not going to work, because at the end of the day, no matter how honest that person is that you're dating, you can't take her out to the movies. You can't get her a plate to eat, food to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, then what's good of that? Pretty much that relationship. So, I mean, I just try to tell people, just make sure you got your stuff together. Priorities are important, and this is outside of marriage. It's outside of relationship. Fellas, get your stuff together, man. Make sure your life is in order. Make sure that if you do have kids, or make sure your kids come first.
Preach.
You know what I'm saying? Make sure you take care of your kids. Make sure you get it. Get yourself together, man. Make sure you have a bank account, man. Make sure you have credit. You know what I'm saying? Make sure all those things is in order before you go out and start dating.
He's right.
You know
Oh
what I'm saying?
man, listen, you hit
He's
that on the
telling the
head.
truth. He's telling the truth.
We
Listen,
gotta be honest. Like,
you got to be
I
honest. Yeah,
know
he's telling
dudes,
the
man. Dudes, this party's all messed up. It's all about getting the Gucci belt, getting some nice clothes,
Yeah.
man. Going to Miami
Right.
Beach, man. Go
But
wet
Jabari,
willies
let
and
me ask you a
some.
question. Them
Yeah,
same dudes you talking still getting pussy. These hoes
but
still letting them
it's,
fuck.
yeah, but Hakeem is only
Preach.
temporarily. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
No, but
At
I
some
can't
point,
say. But I
I,
can't say that the women they choosing poorly.
they
You
choosing,
get what I'm
but let me
saying?
tell you, them guys you talking about, we talking about the guys who want to make something of themselves. But them same guys you talking about, these kids are letting them, these women are
Yeah.
letting them hit with no condom and giving them babies.
yeah, but you
Facts.
know what type of woman they going for, though, right?
That
You
is
know what I'm
true.
saying? The city girls, the
That is true. But you do got some professional women who slip through those cracks and get caught up by GD George and allow GD George to shoot up their club.
but you know.
No, I'm trying to be careful because it might be a guy on the comment like, "Yo, my name is GD George." You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but a lot of times that happened because they probably the professional woman probably went with GD George back in the day, and they probably
Facts.
had a relationship. So now
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
gonna let him. They have rapport from back in the day.
Right.
But now that they let him slide, she's gonna realize this is a mistake because he ain't got shit.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
That,
You're right.
you know what I'm saying? So
I want to get his last point because you remember when I say men should date accordingly and date with their
Yeah.
standards. So I give you an example. I had a homeboy. He's about to get married. I have a homeboy who's about to get married. I want to congratulate him, but he rarely went for strippers, and sometimes him getting with strippers mainly had to be monetarily. You feel me? So now he just had something tragic happen to him. While him being in the hospital, he had met this girl on POF. You know what I mean? Nothing like, she doesn't look nothing like a stripper. She's a plain Jane, regular person, and she was with him through his tragic experience, him getting out the hospital. He date accordingly. He wasn't a scammer. You can't be dating strippers. You're not on that level yet. You're not flush with cash. You feel what I'm trying to say? It's the same way with me trying to date a professional woman, knowing that I'm not in a professional position. It's like oil and water, it doesn't mix. Am I wrong?
yeah, right.
You're right.
You know what I mean? And then piggybacking to what you're saying, Jabari, you have to get your shit together. If you want those type of things, you have to get your shit together. So I don't want women have to listen to this podcast wholly. We're not just bashing. We want these type of women, but we also telling men you have to be on point.
Facts.
Have to,
Fact.
have to get your priorities. You know, don't be trying to dive in coochie, and then you know what I'm saying you ain't even got $10 to your name. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I mean, just be honest, man. You know, I was definitely a victim of that. You know, in my younger years. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
But
same
you know,
here.
I think we all
Struggle
would.
love.
You know, the priority wasn't messed up. But now that we're older, I'm just talking to the fellas that's in our age range.
Yeah,
Like
30 plus.
if 30 plus, if you're not really, if you ain't got your stuff together, man, you're trying to be dating or trying to find a woman to marry, man. Like you got it all brought backwards, man. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
man.
Got it. You know what I'm saying?
Because with me when I got married at the age of 24.
Yeah.
Right, and my ex was 20. No, I was 25. She was 22, because we're 3 years
Wow.
apart.
So you got married young.
I got married young,
Mm-hmm.
but I already had all these attributes.
Yeah, you was going to school and shit like that.
Yeah. I was already in school. I was doing my thing, and
Mm-hmm.
it became a gold mine. And why I say it was a gold mine, because we both didn't have shit, so we kind of built together at the time. We built it together, and when people was looking at us like, damn, it was like, damn, they the power couple, because at the end of the day, they on the same ride. They on the same vibe. They both going to school. They trying to do this. They trying to do that. They trying to do this. You know, and then when she started making a little bit bold, people start talking in her ears, and then that's what led to the downfall. So I always tell a man this, man, we have to as men, we have to, like you just said, we have to have our shit together, but then also understanding that our women got to have their shit together, and then we have to feed off each other.
Yeah.
Because if she's making this and you're making that, you know what I'm saying, there got to be some type of structure. There got to be some type of commitment to this. Like, okay, you do this, I do this, you do this, I do that. And so it can balance it out. Because once that person say, you know what, I'm the dominant figure, you lost that relationship.
Oh, it's a wrap after that.
Yeah.
Listen, if you can't be a man there, if you're not the man, you know what I mean? And this the thing where women have to understand. Being dominant in a relationship is not the natural order of things. You know what I mean? If you say you're a Christian and you follow your Bible, you know who translate the information for you. There's even graphs that show you God speaks to the man and the man speaks to the wife and kids, and he translates the sermon to them. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? And I want us to, we've been riding out. I want us to give our last statements, and we're going to get it. I already gave my monologue. I want y'all to get your last statement. Yeah.
Go ahead. Jeffrey go first because he started first. Go ahead.
Okay. I would just say this to conclude on this, man. As men and women out there, we have to learn how to be equally yoked. And equally yoked, man, y'all got to be on the same page on everything. If you want to get married, you have to understand, like, there's a commitment to it. It's not a lifestyle change, but it's a commitment. And if you stay the course, trust me, your relationship will prosper.
And I'll say this. I'm just speaking to the men here. Men, if you decide you want to marry the woman, make sure you know the woman first. Make sure you know her whole background. Make sure you know her family, where she came from. Make sure you know everything about this woman before you agree to get married. Also, keep in mind that marriage is a grind. It's not a fairy tale. It can't become the best thing in the world. But as a man, you're the husband. You're in charge. You're the leader. So how you act on the marriage is how the marriage will pretty much prosper from that. And also for the men, most importantly, number one rule for men our age, please get your shit together, man. It's not all about pussy all the time. It's not all about getting females all the time. That was in our younger years. Now, we in the years of, if you want to take things seriously, you want to build up some type of retirement. If you want to, retire by the age of 60 to 65 or 50 to 55, or whatever you want to do, now's the time to get your stuff together, man. So getting your shit together is the number one thing before getting married. So that's all I'll say.
And not only that, for me, I'm not married yet. I want to get married someday. So for me to be able to get married, you have to learn one thing. You just gotta grow the F up. It's time to grow up and start playing game with life, embrace life, and not only that, but embrace your woman, whoever you choose to marry with, and who you want to be with. Um, and it's time for our sisters. When I mean our sisters, I'm not just talking about black women in general. I'm talking about for every ethnicity of women to come back to your feminine role, and I guarantee you, life will go much swell. Go ahead, King.
No, I already gave my monologue. You gonna kill us with that feminine role?
No, I'm just saying, we out.
We out, and that's it. Chaos Culture Radio out. Man, I just appreciate y'all just listening. Stay tuned for the next episode.